This is New Frontier by OlaHaldor. It's 314.31 megabytes to download, and this is the first mod map we've got for Farming Simulator 25, which is fantastic. The description does say, "Welcome to New Frontier, an open landscape, yours to develop, shape and form. The map contains a farmer's market and a sawmill. All other productions and sale points must be built by the player. The landscape is open with rolling hills, perfect for arable farming and animal husbandry. Some small forests are scattered around the map." Now, it has had an update to come out on PC the other week, so it's had a few things fixed for it. A part of the update is it's been released for console as well, which is awesome, and there's been 2 new variants of the map added, which we'll be checking out in a moment. So basically you've got 3 maps for the price of 1, which is pretty cool. Also added an animal dealer, a warehouse, and just done a few little tweaks here and there. It does tell you all in the changelog on the website, or actually on this mod hub itself within the game, so feel free to check it out. But without further ado, let's go and explore. Okay, so first of all, I thought I'd bring you to this menu because this is all new now. We can select our maps from here and what sort of mode we want to play in, and you can change your sort of start money, start loan and things like that, which has all been tweaked for Farming Simulator 25, which is pretty cool. But if I push right and go past all the base game maps, we've got New Frontier. That was the original version, which is obviously, like I said, been fixed a couple of little issues and added a few things. And then Ola's also added in 2 more variants, like it says in the description. So we've got New Frontier 69 Farmlands, and then we've got New Frontier Forestry. And like I say, we will check out all 3. I will jump into all 3 in new farmer mode, but I'll go through slot counts and what's different between all 3 sort of modes in each map as we go through the tour. So we are going to load into New Frontier in new farmer mode. I'm going to come down. We do want to start with the starting farm, because if I hit no, we won't have no tractors and sleep trigger, etc. No guided tour. I don't think it would give us that anyway. But we'll jump into New Frontier. And here we are. This is where you will start off in all 3 modes on every single version of this map. This is what the map looks like. So like I said, this is the original version. It's had a few fixes to it and a couple of things added. Now this version is split up into 21 squares on the map. So as you can see, 21. Now if I push across to farmland, I'm in new farmer mode. Like I said, we're going to check out each version in new farmer mode, but I will talk about the other modes as well. We start off with plot 10, which is quite a big plot. We also get these 2 fields as well, field 1 and field 2. Now these plots, they are a bit pricey, but there's quite a bit of land and they do vary in price. So this guy here is 326 grand. This fella 490,000 that we own. I think this one over here is only 196. 216,000, 412. So I guess it's going to depend on what's on that plot of land. 393, 471. Now there is a few little trees here and there on this version scattered around, which you'll see in a moment. What I will say is if you come on here in the other 2 modes and buy this plot, you don't get these 2 fields with that plot. They are all separate, the fields. So field 1 there, even though we own it, it would cost you 11.5 grand in the other modes. 8,400 for that. 10,700 just over 3. Field 4 just under 12 grand, and field 5 9,211. Now if you do buy this plot in the other 2 modes, the farmhouse is there. And the farmhouse is there in all the other versions of the map as well. I probably will repeat myself as we go through. But if you buy this plot of land, if you don't already own it, that farmhouse symbol will appear and you can use it as a sleep trigger. So it will still all be there available for you if you buy it. So that is that. Let's go through the slot counts, I think. Now in new farmer mode, when you come on here, you do get some equipment, which you can see. This is pretty much it. We'll look at it again in a moment. We've got a trailer, a tractor, a plough, a seeder, a harvester with its header. That is it. We also get a chainsaw as well, which I will talk about in a moment, because I didn't realise that that worked like that, but I'll show you in a moment if you're just wondering where your chainsaw is. So if I come into this mode, 630 is our slots on new farmer mode, and what we start off with, you did see it, but if I come across to there and go to vehicles, we've got that farm tech even trailer, we've got the Great Plains Cedar, Massey Ferguson 5S, we've got the Massey Ferguson harvester with the header, and we've also got that Potager plough. That's a very small plough as well, so if you wanted to start creating fields, you might want to swap that out fairly soon. Very small, like so. Now if I go back up to the top and I go across to hand tools, it does say we've got a Husqvarna chainsaw. Now I came on here, if you watch my help window up the top, if I press L1 for me because I'm on PlayStation, it says switch hand tool. I pushed up, got the flashlight, pushed up again, flashlight went. I'm thinking, where is my chainsaw? If you're wondering where it is or how you get that, if you go back into here, push across to hand tools, right down the bottom there, it says pick up. So for me, I hit square. Are you sure you want to pick up Husqvarna blah blah blah? Yes, I do. Now it comes up current holder. It's got my name, Farm Sim Snowy. If I do this again, switch tools, I've got the flashlight, go again. I've got our chainsaw, and then I can put that away like so. So if you're wondering where your chainsaw is, that's what you've got to do to get that, which is pretty nifty. Anyway, here we are at the store, which is just here. So if we come in here, we've got our shop menu like so. Pretty nifty. That's about it. This is also your reset point back down here. Across here we have a fuel tank. Now you can't fill this guy up, it kind of acts like a fuel station, so when your tractors are a little bit low or equipment, you just pull up to here and you can refill. It will charge you obviously, so it's not one you can fill up, you have to just buy it yourself. Here we've got a workshop, so pull into this zone, you can repair, customize, etc. like that, like so. And as you can see, there is trees about, so you're not completely treeless on this version of this map, which is pretty cool. We'll jump into the Massey. I feel a little bit rusty doing map tours. It's been a while, but we should get back into the swing of it. So just there is one of our fields that we own, a new farmer mode, and that is ready to harvest by the look of it. Straight in front of us is our farmhouse. We've got a sleep trigger there and also a wardrobe function. I've also just realised that I haven't gone through slot counts for the other two modes, so we will do that. I will stop immediately. Right, so the other two modes, the slot count is exactly the same. You come on here, it is 595. You start off with nothing, no equipment and no land. But like I say, if you buy this plot again, that farmhouse trigger will show up. The building is here always in all of the modes and versions. But if you don't own this plot of land, you will need to buy it to be able to use that farmhouse. So yeah, 595 for farm manager and start from scratch. You don't get any of these equipment you've seen. You do get the chainsaw. You get the chainsaw regardless in all of the modes and all of the versions of the maps. You get a chainsaw. It's the only thing that is consistent in terms of equipment across all the modes. Right, that's that bit done and dusted. So out of here we'll swing a left because everything is over that way. So I say we've got a field there ready to harvest. Pretty good sized fields, and as you can see, you've already got scope to expand this. You can join them two together, square them off, do whatever you wish to. This one's empty by the look of it. Plenty of opportunity. Quite a few fairly flat areas as well, but there's also, as you can see, some hills and lumpy bumpy bits. Right, if we swing into here, we have right in front of us our farmers market, which is pretty cool. So this is going to be like one of your main sale points really. We've got people in and around walking about having a chat outside, which is pretty nice. So to the left of the building, you've got sell point for your pallets. And then to the right of the building, we've got your sell point there for your grains, etc. like so. That's just decoration. You can't get water from there. This is one of the added in features. We've actually got animals that are moving around in pens. We've got some of each, goats and sheep in there. We've got chickens, horses over the back, cows. I don't know if there's any water buffalo in there. There might be. And then we've got some piggies out the back. Now, I wondered straight away, especially if you're on console, because in FS22, when we had maps that done this at animal dealers, some of them were having to use these as an animal pen, which then reduced the amount that you could place down. I believe it's 15 we can place on console now. I think it was only 10 on FS22. But I placed down 15 pens and it wasn't a problem on here. So I don't think these are using up animal pens. So that's pretty good. I like that. But the animal dealer dialogue box is just there. And it's going to go through everything like so, which is nifty. So if we run round the back, we do have the warehouse around here. Now you can sell here. It's mainly for things like barrels and planks, I think, and things like that that you can produce. So it's not going to take grains or anything, but it will tell you in the prices list whatever you've got. But the really cool thing is you can buy pretty much anything from here. So if you're struggling straight away with a production or things like that, you can buy all sorts from here, which is good. I like that. It does gonna get a little, or it does gonna get, that's not very good English. It will get a little bit pricey here and then. Here and then, here and there. I will talk properly in a minute. I mean, look at that cake. I know it sounds good, but... So yeah, you can buy pretty much anything. Things are going to appear here as well, like so, and sell things there, which is good. So if we jump back in the Massey, all we've got left to visit really is the Sawmill. And that is going to be left again. Up round past these trees again, another decent sized field really. They always look smaller on the actual map menu than they are when you're actually out on the map itself, if that makes sense. Quite a few trees to be fair still on the map, and then quite a big area in here. We've got our sawmill. What I don't like is this flashing. I don't know if you guys can see that, but every time I move on this sort of texture, you see that? That is horrendous. I don't know what that is. I know other people are getting that. I don't like that. Anyway, sawmill. You can sell your wood there. There's your little exclamation mark. You can buy the sawmill if you wish to. It is quite pricey, 150 grand. You can buy it there. Wood chips just here, look, symbols on the floor, and then anything you produce will appear in these sort of areas underneath the shelter like so. And that is pretty much it for that version. So that is the first frontier. So I'm going to quit out, load back in. I will spawn back in that same spot, but we're going to check out the 69 Farmlands version now. Right, so here we are on the 69 Farmlands version. I won't drive around anymore, do any more of a tour, because it is exactly the same layout. Everything else is still where it was earlier, as you saw in the video. I'll just quickly talk about the difference between this version and the last version. Now, the slot counts are exactly the same as the original version. So, new farmer mode 630, do start off with this equipment. Farm manager start from scratch, it's 595. You don't start off with anything apart from obviously the chainsaw. We've been through that. So exactly the same equipment. The only difference is there is more numbers on here. So these big squares have now been split up into 4 smaller squares within that big one, if that makes sense. So like I said, I am in new farmer mode. So if I scroll across now to farmland, it gives us this smaller square. We do get those 2 fields again, but again, once again, they are separate. So don't think you can buy this plot and you get those 2 fields. The fields are all separate. But it gives us plot 30, we still get the farmhouse, and we get fields 1 and 2. Now that is basically the difference. Now obviously these are going to be a lot more affordable. They're still a little bit up there, 111, 72,000, 183, 157. So it's going to vary depending on where you go. 98 grand. But you should be able to get yourself a decent bargain somewhere along the line. 78 grand, 124. So you can see what is going on here. So that's about it for that one. Everything else, like I said, is exactly the same. I believe that's all I need to show you, really. So we will now move on to the forestry version. So here we are on the forestry version, and as you can see, an obvious difference. We've got a lot more trees in here, as you can see. If I spin round, I have a different piece of equipment, or should I say pieces of equipment. We'll look at that in a second. This is the map. So again, it runs along the same as the one before. It's got 69 farmlands. It's been split up, but obviously we've got a bit more forestry, so the prices are all going to be the same. If I scroll across to farmland though, it does start off in new farmer mode with this plot again, plot 30, those 2 fields, farmhouses there, etc. So you can buy whatever you want to. Obviously if you come on here and farm manage and start from scratch, you won't own any land. And the same with the previous version. I can't remember if I mentioned that, but it's only new farmer mode that you get any land and fields, etc. So that is that. Now we'll go through the slot counts, etc. So if I go into here and scroll down and across to vehicles, we've got that Fendt 514 Vario as you saw, and then we've got this Taj Fun, which is like the winch for pulling your logs about, which is pretty cool. You're going to need that in your forestry. That is all you've got to start with, and the slot count on this mode is 735 in new farmer mode. If you come on here and farm manage and start from scratch, you don't have any of that equipment apart from your chainsaw, obviously. 724, and obviously no land as well. So that is your slot counts. Now what I will say, I'm just going to quickly add in some money. If I go across to finances, we'll just add up to 200 grand should be enough. If I go on to farmland again, it is plot 16. If we were to buy that for 163,840, it shows up this. So we do have a buildable log cabin, and obviously there's your place where you can tip in your bits. So you will need, if you look at the field info down the bottom right, to start off with, you're going to need some wood beam, planks long, and planks. So what I like about this, if you come on here in the other 2 modes, farm manager and start from scratch, obviously you won't have this plot of land. You could choose to buy this plot, have that as a little project, and you've got a few trees around you, so you can start doing that. If you can't afford to buy the sawmill straight away, or you don't want to buy the sawmill, you can use the warehouse to get those products that I just mentioned down there, the wood beams, etc. Bring them here, get this little project on the go, and then you're going to have yourself a little sleep trigger. But that is where we are out here. You can see there's a few trees around, so that's quite a nice little starting plot. That you could build yourself a nice driveway up to your log cabin and build your farm from there. So we're not a million miles away from the store, which is just over there, look, as you can see. And if I scroll out and move out, you can see some of the areas, they're not hugely densely of trees. We've got quite a few open areas, which is nice. I like that, the fact that you've got that. It's not massive amounts of clumps of tree. You've got a bit of space, so you could start creating fields straight away. Obviously that's the edge of the map there, but yeah, and there's this really cool sort of water feature just here as well. I like that. So you can fill up your water in there as well, your water tanks. But I think that's it, guys. That is New Frontier, all 3 versions from OlaHaldor. Hope you have enjoyed the tour, guys. If you have, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. That'd be awesome. And don't forget to smash the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos I post. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.